Alright, time for the second season of Total Drama. After Island, Chris set up a last challenge that had a chance of winning instead of $100,000, but this time being $1 million. One thing led to another, and, well, the cash was lost, leading into a second season and another chance of collecting the prize money, with this one being a spin on movie genres in each episode. This is the review of
Total Drama Action!
Alright, let's get this first thing out of the way, and what initially makes the season, the cast. Now, of course, Action has a little bit of a smaller cast than Island did, so a handful of characters didn't make it into Action, leaving them to be part of this new Aftermath show that they did within the season. It was pretty much there to show how the characters who didn't make it are doing. Sometimes they still didn't really do much, but it's a nice addition. It's an in-universe behind the scenes, which I like. But even so, how does this cast handle than last season? Now, seeing that this is most of the characters' second season, this is definitely a time and shift into the characters' character. With Heather's tyrannical rule being over, Courtney coming back with a lot of attitude than before, and even Justin, the guy in Island that barely spoke and got the boot early on, he's now at least trying to take charge into a more dominant player. All of that and more is actually pretty cool to see here. Instead of the characters still being one note, they really start to move, really have some depth into them, even with some secrets and traits that other contestants might not be so keen on. Now, it's not perfect because not all of the developments and shifts for the cast were all that great. Courtney may have come back, but she's carrying a lot more anger with her this time, and most people don't really like that. Even Duncan at points, who we thought who was gonna have a pretty kick-ass girlfriend, but kind of realized later on, you know what, I might as well just go for the million instead of the crazy girlfriend. Owen participated this season, left, came back, and was doing some shady stuff that was, well, unnecessary, not really good for his character at least. And the worst one to me was with Trent. They really threw in the whole 9 obsession and him being quote-unquote weird at such an odd time, and was just not needed for Trent at all. It was just bad for him. I made a video on that, so go check that out for more in-depth about it. The cast is still cool, but at times it makes me think, was this really necessary? Was there no other option for this? It's still good, but a little bit shaky. Now, among the cast, there's always a lurking force that aims high only for themselves, that being the villain. Or villains. Action is in a weird mix of having 2 villains this season pretty much, but at the same time, when you watch the season, they don't really have the same presence and feeling that Heather did last time. Hell, Heather this season is pretty much treated as if no one wants to be around her, unless they're forced to. Heather's reign is over, leaving Justin wanting to take over, but for some episodes, and when Courtney comes back, she takes over the other ones. They kind of switch back and forth. Sometimes Justin will take the back seat in the episode, and Courtney will just take over. Now, I'm not saying that these two are bad villains. They're pretty good at what they do, I suppose, though they just don't have the same impact or oomph like Heather did. Like with Justin, he's pretty much just there of, I'm hot and charming at times, and sometimes come up with plans. And Courtney's just aggressive. That's it. Again, they're not bad, but they're just missing that impact that Heather had. It's just like that tiny thing that Heather had just really made it so much better. Now, I've already talked about the initial and main problem with this season, and that's, well, more or less the character developments, some of them, though not really a problem, just a sad thing, and that is the potential of Lindsay winning the season overall was taken away. I still don't know if this is absolutely 100% true, but Lindsay was apparently supposed to win Action. But due to other things that needed to be taken care of, Lindsay's voice actress couldn't voice the character for the last few episodes or something. That's why Lindsay was voted off through herself, which was just It's just bad. And that's super unfortunate, because it would have been an awesome ending for Lindsay. Throughout action, she was showing that she could pull herself and sometimes her own team to victory. That's a huge step from last season of being Heather's puppet. And now she's making it big for herself. Beth kind of took her place into being a finalist. I think it just would have been nice if they reference it in some sort of way that Lindsay was supposed to win through Beth. With them being best friends throughout the season, something along the lines of Beth is just not winning for herself, but for Lindsay. I know they kind of do it with the whole Paris thing that they talk about sometimes, but it still would have been great to hear that one more time. It's like, oh, you know, I'm not just winning for myself, I'm winning for Lindsay, who couldn't take my place or couldn't be here right now. You know, it would have been nice.
The Season 2 Total Drama winner is... Beth!
Now, after all of that, is this season, a one step above Island? No, not really. It really isn't. It's not a terrible season. Oh god, no. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. It's just that there are a few things that eventually just add up to being like, that... Overall, that could have just been a little bit better. It's not terrible. It really isn't. I still do think that it is on the higher half of the list when comparing all of the seasons. It's just that it's missing a couple of things, and some things throughout the season were just kind of, well, a hit and miss to majority of people. So, yeah, don't worry, it's not bad. It's still pretty great, it's still entertaining, which is also the most important thing when it comes to this type of thing. So, that's what I had to say about Action. Next time I'll be getting into World Tour, and that'll be a really fun one, I think. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Questions, comments, you know what to do with that type of stuff. Have fun with all the buttons, with the links that I provide in the description and comment that I leave. Thank you for watching. That's greatly appreciated, of course. Have a great day, have a great night, and everything else you know what to do. Bye.